Susanna, like Spencer is a loon. Yes, he's pro Hindutva. So
Oh yeah, I mean, I tagged him on a tweet because Harris has brought this to everybody's attention, and actually Spencer tagged Harris and said, "Oh well, there's another story," and Harris responded that, "Look, I could show you plenty of Hindu Vata stories, and you won't cover it." And he didn't respond. And then a story came about Hindu Vata attacking a Christian couple. And I tagged him and Harris into it and said, let's see if he actually does some criticism on that. And as yet, it hasn't been addressed at
yeah.
all. Have you seen his latest story on about the baby's head being left inside the woman in Pakistan?
What?
Yeah, and he called that, it was a medical problem that happened, and he's claiming that was part of medical jihad, essentially, and that they I can't even explain it. It's so terrible. But yeah, so
Is
you
Susanna? Is this on the news? Like we explained, Susanna. Okay,
oh,
is
so,
this recent?
yeah, Susanna knows about the story.
Is this recent?
Yeah, within the last I think 4 or 5 days, he's
Okay.
published it.
God, Pakistan, and it's just like trying to like, you think you have seen the worst because like, every time they like, when we, they challenge our,
This was a medical
expectation.
problem. This was like literally an out in the country hospital facility that had they weren't trained. Something happened, so it really was a medical thing. It's not a
Okay, okay.
intentional, leaving, a part in the. It's a terrible story, but he's actually
Okay, so Susanna saying there isn't proof that it's motivated because the mother is Hindu. Seems like medical negligence, not bigotry.
exactly
Okay, but
medical
okay,
negligence.
but the fact that the mother is Hindu, how likely that is? Do you think it is that people are just going to spin it that this is like this was some intentional thing? This is what happens to Hindus in Pakistan.
Well, that's exactly what Robert Spencer has done. Um, that's exactly what he's done. He's called it medical. I think
Really?
the term is medical jihad. Yeah.
Wait. I was like, I'm sorry, I missed that part. You're telling me that this thing that was just medical negligence, Robert Spencer is calling that medical jihad.
Yeah, along those lines. Yeah.
Okay, we need to cover this story. We need to cover Robert Spencer's spin on this story because that is insane. Are we sure that there's literally no evidence that should this suggest that this was intentional?
Yeah, I mean, it clearly
Okay.
wasn't. I mean, it's not
Okay,
a.
this needs to be covered because we need to like honestly, if this is actually what's happening, if this is accurate, that Robert like we need to use this as a way to like go after Robert Spencer. Like if you are calling a medical negligence and without any evidence, you're calling it medical jihad against Hindus in Pakistan, you need to be called out for this. Like I seriously think we need to like call him out for this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Susanna's pretty up to speed on it.
Yeah, so no, Susanna is like says like she has to look more into this to see if there's more credible sources. But it's not just him. There's a lot of pro-Hindu people. So yeah, if you're a Hindu and something happens to you in Pakistan, they're gonna call it something jihad.
Well, the thing is, he links the original stories in his stories. So what he does is there'll be a story, and then he'll summarize it, and then he'll put it on his blog, essentially.
Mhm.
So you can always see the original source, and it's always a lot different to what the actual story is.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
so
yeah.
that the way he spins it, which unfortunately is a terrible thing
Vikram,
to do. Yep.
okay. Vikram is saying, have Robert on your show. Imagine the drama. He's a coward. He's not gonna come on our show. Do you think? I don't think I've never seen him. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe he will. How about this? I will change my mind if he actually comes. He's not gonna come on our show. He's like, you guys are insignificant. I don't care about you guys. Why should I come on your show? That's probably the reason. I don't know. Anyways, but I would like to debate him because it would be so easy to debate him. I would like, why are you being so inconsistent? Why are you not calling this out? Why are you supporting groups like Hindutva that are that are obviously using anti-Islamism as a way to fight Muslims themselves? Like, do you condemn this? Do you condemn that? Like, it would be so easy to put him on the spot, but I think he would know how it's so obvious to him, and he's so aware about his own inconsistencies and his biases that he would know that being on a show like this, he would be called out for that, and he wouldn't be able to survive that line of questioning. That's why I don't think he would go on a show like that.
Yeah, I mean, he tends to just ignore anything, any sort of comeback, and then he'll
Yeah,
just wait for the next thing and then carries on with it. But we haven't. Harris has invited him onto the show, I think, and he
he
hasn't
won't.
he hasn't responded. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a dangerous narrative, um, that every a medical tragedy can be turned into something like that.
If you'd like to send me your questions for me to answer during our Q&As, become a patron. If you would like to have a discussion with me live on air at the end of the Q&As, become a YouTube member. Link to both is in the description. Thank you for your support.